2025 lang daw nagpalit ng stockholders ang MBB. Nevertheless, the 2024 General Information Sheet o GIS of the MBB Global Properties Corporation would show the following. Macy Monique Maglangke, President. Sunshine M. Bernardo, Corporate Secretary. Fatima Gay B. Bonoan de la Cruz, Treasurer. Ulitin ko. Maglangke, Bernardo, Bonoan, MBP. Coincidentally, these are known surnames of today's flood control saga. Candaba Mayor Rene Maglangke, ang patriarch ng Maglangkes of Global Concrete Builders, contractor ng multi-billion peso worth of flood control projects. DPWH Undersecretary Roberto Bernardo na kamakailan lamang ay nag-early retirement matapos masangkot sa maanomalyang flood control. At siyempre pa, dating DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan. Maglangke, Bernardo, Bonoan, MBB, Mr. President. Kayo na po mag-connect ng dots. By the way, sina Macy Maglangke, Sunshine Bernardo, at Fatima Gay Bonoan de la Cruz ay mga anak na mga nabanggit na opisyal ng gobyerno. Kaya naman pala ang palaging depensa ni dating DPWH Secretary Bonoan, isolated case lang daw ang nakita ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa Ghost Project sa Bulacan. Ayaw na siguro ni Bonoan na maungkat pa sa investigasyon ang global creep. Saan ba itong lahat na ito, Mr. President? Kaya Ghost Project po talaga ito. One project for the price of two. Hindi po ba sadyang panggagago na ito? Papayag po bang mahigit na 112 million Filipinos na patuloy na magpaloko sa kontraktor at 5 tulisan na ito? Obvious rin ang kabalbalan sa mga reports para sa proyektong construction of pumping station ng floodgate sa Barangay Atlag, Malolos, Bulacan na may halagang 92.5 million pesos sa ilalim ulit ng 2024 GAA. Ang kontraktor nito ang IM Construction Corporation. Base sa mga sales invoice, 4 na beses nakasingil ang kontraktor para sa kabuuan ng proyekto mula October 2024 hanggang Mayo nitong taon, kasama ng 15% advance payment. Nakita po niyo sa screen ang mga petsa ng request for progress billing noong December 20, 2024, February 24, 2025, at April 29, 2025. At mapapansing pareho ito sa style ng SIMS, Mr. President. Subalit, ito natin ang ating atensyon sa mga naka-attach na larawan sa first progress report noong December 20, 2024 at third progress report noong April 29, 2025. Ang sunod na mga litratong ito ay may petsang December 2024 at April 2025 pa rin. Parehong larawan, ang mga bulok at kinakalawang na sheet piles, parehong pwesto ng mga makinarya at parehong pwesto ng mga manggagawa. Ang kaibahan lamang, ang lighting at contrast ng mga larawan. To ask how this doctored photos slip past the eyes of officials is not even a question, Mr. President. Talagang may sabwatan. Mr. President, hindi naman magpapahuli ang isa sa mga crowd's favorites. Simula nung lumabas ang dayaan sa mga flood control projects, wala pong iba kundi ang sikat na wow builders. Tulad ng SIMS at IM, malupit din talaga ang pattern ng kontratisang ito sa kababalaghan. Busisiin natin ang dalawang proyektong ito na alam na nating may distinct na halaga. Construction ng flood mitigation structure along Barangay Frances, Kalumpit, Bulacan na may halagang 77.199 million pesos at construction ng flood mitigation structure along Barangay Bulusan, Kalumpit, Bulacan na may halaga ring 77.199 million pesos. Ang dalawang kontrata na ito ay na-award sa Wow Builders noong February 1, 2023. Pero take note, Mr. President, mayroon kaming kopya ng dalawang sulat na may petsang January 30, 2023 or 2 days. 2 days before na pirmado ni Wawaw Builders Manager Mark Alan Arevalo na nagsasaad na sila ang winning bidder para sa dalawang projects. Advance mag-isip si Wawaw, Mr. President. Ang notice to proceed para sa dalawang contracts, pareho rin ng petsa, February 13, 2023. Subalit, mahigit isang linggo pa lamang ang nakalilipas mula sa petsa o notice to proceed, naniningil na para sa 50% project accomplishment rate ang Wawaw Builders. Ang nakasaad sa 50% accomplishment rate na ito ay resulta ng isinasagawang trabaho na di umano mula February 13 to 20. 7 days, Mr. President. Ayon sa mga sales invoice na hawak namin, na-release naman ang hinihinging kabayaran noong February 23, 2023. Ang kalahati ng kabayaran ng accreditation fees again for both projects ay naatado naman sa release mula April hanggang July 2023. Sabay rin ang mga petsa ng bayaran kung saan hindi rin nagkakalayo ang mga halaga. Ang 50% ng proyekto isinagawa ng 7 araw. Ang sunod na kalahati, ginawa na mahigit 4 na buwan. Not for one project, but for 2, Mr. President. Napakahusay, napakaganid. Kawawaw na kawawaw talaga tayo sa Wawaw Builders. Mr. President, Bulacan has proven to be the national sewer of corrupted flood control projects. Hindi na nakapagtataka na marami ang nagkalkal ng record ng mga kontraktor sa buong probinsya. Isa na dito ang Global Crete Builders na kumubra ng 2.195 billion flood control projects mula 2018 hanggang 2024 sa Bulacan pa lamang. Ang Global Crete ay pagmamayari ng mga maglangke ng Candaba. Si Mayor Rene Maglangke ang presidente noong 2024 na kung saan may mga kontrata na siya mismo ang pumipirma na dapat sana ay nag-divest siya. This should not come as a surprise, Mr. President. In the words of Mayor Maglangke, and I quote, "Isa akong malaking kontratista. Kilala sa buong Pilipinas na nangongontrata at bilyon-bilyon ang proyekto ko sa buong Pilipinas. Growing family business indeed." Pero hindi pa dito natatapos ang kwentong pamilya, Mr. President. The web of family names reveals a web of stories. Ang mga Maglangke rin na may-ari ng MBB Global Properties Corporation na siya namang nagmamay-ari ng Windham Garden Hotel sa Clark, Pampanga na itinayo sa halagang halos 1 bilyong piso. Gayunman, kung babalikan, hindi lamang Maglangke ang kilalang family name na nagmamay-ari ng MBB Global Properties. Itong August, people are growing impatient and angry, but we are not in the business of quick fixes and band-aid solutions. The newly installed Secretary of Public Works and Highways, Vince Dizon, has hit the ground running to weed out the corruption in the agency. Investigators are running their course in both chambers of Congress. The President shows no sign of wavering in this fight. We are on the right trajectory in getting to the bottom of this systemic wrath and punishing to the fullest extent of the law those who have corrupted us. Sa dahilang ang prosecution ay mandato ng ehekutibo, titiyakin natin may ambag ang oversight functions ng Senado sa pagpapanagot ng mga sangkot. Lahat ng may kinalaman sa pagnanakaw, mapakontraktor o empleyado ng DPWH o mambabatas man, ay dapat isama sa kasong kriminal na isasampa. We respectfully urge the DPWH to refer this matter for the filing of criminal cases, including multiple violations of Article 217 in relation to Articles 48 and 171, Paragraph 4 of the Revised Penal Code, or malversation through falsification of public documents. For one, the falsification of documentation, particularly the use of manipulated photos in contractors' progress billing reports, later certified by DPWH officials is a blatant violation of this provision. Mr. President, even if we do away with said complex crime and file cases for malversation alone, kung ang tampok na halaga ay higit 8.8 million pesos, reclusion perpetua o pagkakakulong ng 20 years and 1 day to 40 years ang parusa. Next is the prosecution for violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act, Republic Act 3019, Section 3E, causing undue injury to the government or giving a private party unwarranted benefits, advantage, or preference through manifest partiality, evident bad faith, or gross inexcusable negligence. And Section 3G, entering on behalf of the government into contracts manifestly and grossly disadvantageous to it. And Section 8, in relation to Republic Act 1379, unexplained wealth. We also strongly endorse the filing of charges for violation of Republic Act 7080 or the Anti-Plunder Law, Mr. President. Sapat naman pong basihan ang nakakapangilabot na laki ng halaga ng mga anomalya sa flood control. Bilyones po ang pinag-uusapan nating nauwi sa ghost projects. Ang marangyang pamumuhay ng mga sangkot na opisyal ng DPWH at ang daang milyong kaya nilang ipatalo sa mga kasino ay kabilang sa magpapatunay sa paglabag sa batas na ito. These facts show that the accumulated ill-gotten wealth has undeniably breached the minimum threshold for plunder, which is 50 million pesos. Dahil ang bawat isang manumalyang kontrata ay isang hayagang paglabag sa batas, malinaw po na natutugunan nito ang requirement ng anti-plunder law na nagsasaad na ang ill-gotten wealth ay dapat nagmula sa paulit-ulit o serye na mga gawain upang makaipon ng yaman sa pamamagitan ng pandaraya. Mr. President, we likewise detail the infractions of the BGC boys in connection with their gambling spree. Sa paggamit ng fictitious names o aliases upang itago ang kanilang identity sa mga casinos, easily, Mr. President, this is a clear violation of Article 178 of the Revised Penal Code, or the use of fictitious name and concealing true name. To further sustain the use of their pseudo-identities, the BGC boys used fake driver's licenses to gain entry into casinos, thereby violating Section 31, Article 2 of Republic Act 4136, which expressly outlaws the making, use, or possession of licenses in imitation or similitude of those legally issued by the LTO. Sa actual na garapalang paglalaro sa kasino, ito po ay violation ng Presidential Decree number 1869, Republic Act 6713, and various memorandum circulars prohibiting and penalizing government officials for entering and much more for playing in casinos. Mr. President, the Anti-Money Laundering Act as amended is likewise violated as the proceeds of graft and plunder are transacted and converted by purchasing casino chips and subsequently cashing them out after minimal gaming, thereby disguising the true source of the funds. Considering the glaring violation of the Anti-Money Laundering Act by these big-time gamblers, we urge the Anti-Money Laundering Council to immediately initiate an action for the freezing of the bank accounts of these individuals and the subsequent prosecution for violating the law itself. Finally, Mr. President, umaapaw din ang kinaharap na kasong administratibo ng mga DPWH officials na ito. Among these are grave misconduct, serious dishonesty, gross neglect of duty, and or conduct prejudicial to the best interest of the service. Violations of the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, and the Code of Conduct pertaining to the practice of their profession as regulated by the Professional Regulation Commission. Our goal is not only punitive but also preventive. So we do it through reforms in our legislation, Mr. President. Amendment of Republic Act 4566 as amended by PD number 1746 or the Contractors License Law to institutionalize the perpetual absolute ban of blacklisted contractors found to have ghost and substandard projects, and higher penalties for conflicts of interest brought by interlocking positions in related industries or entities. Amendment to increase penalties for conflicts of interest, especially those public officials and employees who may also act as contractors under Republic Act 6713 or Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Transparency initiatives in the budget process and accountability measures in the planning and budgeting of infrastructure projects. Kung walang detailed architectural and engineering design or DAED, wala dapat pondo. DPWH should also publish DAED, Program of Works and Detailed Unit Price Analysis or DUPA. Mr. President, more than ever, we need people speaking up, not talking down on the efforts we have built. Words such as, wala rin mangyayari dyan, wala namang makukulong, at umpisa lang yan, malilimot din yan, do not help our cause, Mr. President, but only embolden those who have robbed us of our hard-earned taxpayers' money. In my first privilege speech, I spoke about the flooded gates of corruption. Today, we turned our sight into a darker place, the flooded gates of hell. There, we can find those who rob the Filipino people, drowning not in flood waters but in sins and moral decay of the corrupt and greedy officials and contractors. Sana, sa madaling panahon, malunod ang may mga kasalanan sa dami ng kasong kanilang haharapin. Mr. President, these people have reduced the lives of our flood-stricken countrymen into living hell. It is time to give them what they rightly deserve. Thank you, Mr. President.